Yep, Independence is the vibe. I'm Travis.
And I'm Chris.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.
And don't forget to catch us on Instagram, catch us on YouTube. Soon enough, you're going to catch us on the Patreon. We're trying to be everywhere.
Yes,
like
sir.
Visa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't leave home without us. We're gonna get on some of these podcast platforms. Y'all got to download the content. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, make sure y'all, hit that subscribe button and like.
Yeah, we working on some things. You know what I'm saying? We ain't want to dry up out here, so
right.
Trying to work on a couple of things. But yeah, man. So as always, we like to be kind of freestylish with everything, but we always like to, anchor around some kind of pole as far as a topic.
Yeah,
Cause you don't want to get too loose. You gotta tighten up. So
pause.
The topic for today is the right mindset makes all the difference. Cause it does.
Yes, sir.
I mean, no matter what you're facing in life, if you don't have the right mindset, you're gonna fall to pieces. Of course that's my opinion, but it's easy to kind of go through life and don't worry about nothing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, life gonna hand you some stuff that you gonna sweat a little bit.
Yeah, and if you got a weak mindset, man, you gonna fall by the wayside.
Yeah. You don't want to slide by the wayside. That's don't do that. So yeah, man, I think most definitely having the right mindset is key to almost everything. But I also feel like too that you have to kind of develop the right mindset. It's not something that you just gonna have.
Yeah, it is like, as you go on and experience things in life, I feel like that's what develops your mindset on how you're going to handle adversity. But yeah, man, I think your mindset is developed from experiences in life, It's going to determine how you handle adversity that may come your way. So I feel like that's how, how you develop like a strong mindset of like, nothing can stop me.
True.
I'm going to keep going no matter what.
Very true. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, most definitely.
Yeah.
Because the things you go to is going to shape, your thought process and the way you think about things and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So that absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
I also think that the way you're raised has a part to play in the mindset that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people face trauma, and it changes them.
Yeah.
We face trauma as adults, but it's not as bad when you face trauma as an adult versus a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because as a kid, you might not fully understand what's going on. Now, as an adult, if you face something traumatizing, you can kind of process it better to where your mindset is not as damaged. But as a kid, you could be really messed up if certain things happen to you, But that don't have to break you or stop you or anything like that.
Yeah, as a kid, if you go through certain traumas, it's definitely going to shape how you are as an adult. It's going to shape your life. It's either going, you either going, go off to the left or you going
or you going, stay straight.
You going to stay straight, So, yeah, it can affect your mindset, but, you still can overcome, though.
Oh, yeah. And see, I think that's what life is about. Because if you really think about it, some people born in rich families, some people are not.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are born in, with disabilities, some people are not.
Yeah.
Some people got a support system already when they come out the womb. Some people don't have no support at all.
Yeah.
Why does God do that? Like, He let you be born in these different situations. I think it's just because He know the end from the beginning. And He wants you to make your way to Him, even though He's right there with you the whole step of the way.
Sometimes, man, I be thinking, like, why some things are the way it is. I know it's kind of like, different subject, but
man,
I be
this
wondering.
your podcast, run it.
Our podcast, man. But yeah, I be thinking sometimes, like, what's the deal with that? But, I guess it ain't for us to understand or to try to figure out.
Well, one thing I do think is that, again, like I said before, back up a couple episodes, this is not a podcast about religion. But we both, God believing young men. So, That's just gonna be what it is.
Yes, sir.
Something that you said I want to touch on. You said that we, it's not for us to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it is, but
You think it is so?
yeah. I think part of your life, you're here to figure out what it is that God wants you to do.
Oh, your purpose.
Yeah, God never makes something without the intent of it doing something or being something.
Well, I was referring to like trying to figure out why X, Y, Z happened to you.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
For me, it'd be like, why was I born disabled, or I that can be answered like this. Again, referring to the Bible. We're not a religious podcast, but just regular conversation, right? Jesus' disciples was walking along. I think this was in John chapter 9.
Okay.
And he said the disciples saw this man who was born crippled. Okay. And the disciples asked Jesus, they were like, why was this man born crippled? Was he born this way because of his own sin, or was he born this way because of his parents' sin? Mm-hmm. Right? And Jesus said neither. It had nothing to do with him or his parents. Jesus said this man was born this way so that God could show his power through him.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
So that tell me in life, stuff is going to happen to you. The Bible says we're going to have trials and tribulations. We're going to have seasons. Not all seasons are going to be good.
Indeed.
So when things happen to you, whether they happen to you in the beginning of your life, the middle of your life, or even toward the end of your life, some of it you're going to have to figure out. Mm-hmm. Because it's not all, oh, God did this to me. Some stuff is because we made bad decisions.
Yeah.
Just being real. Some stuff is because we made bad decisions. Now, all of it is not because we made bad decisions. Me and you was born the way we are.
Right.
We didn't make no decisions at all. You know what I'm saying?
It just happened.
It just happened. I'm just being real. So, if that's the case, yeah, you still gonna have to figure out what do you want to do with your life. God made you, yes, but He didn't make robots. We all get to make choices. Yeah. We could choose to do bad. We could choose to do good. Mm-hmm. We could choose to do nothing. We could choose to do something.
Yeah.
The fact is, we got a choice to make.
Right.
And that's part of you feeling your way toward God. You just might not realize you're doing it. Yeah. Sometimes we don't look at God until we're in a problem.
That's true.
So
it's like He a genie or something,
Right.
Wish on the bottom, huh?
Right. Christina Aguilera or something. But it's more. Life is all about choices. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so because life is all about choices, that's how you got to look at it. Every day, you got a choice to make.
Every day you got a chance and a choice.
Exactly. The rapper side of you coming out, huh? I'm gonna have to borrow that. But I think that even if you want to get technical, right? I think just about every couple of minutes, you got a choice to make. Mm-hmm. And I know that's kind of weird to say, but think about it. When you're hungry, you got to choose what you gonna eat. If you have options like that,
right?
You wake up and it's time to go to work. You got to decide: am I going to work or am I not?
I might be late today.
Right, I might not show up at all, man. I'm tired. I'm hurting. I don't even feel it. So it's a choice. But the thing with a choice is you got to have information in order to make a choice. Mm-hmm. If you don't have all your information, you're gonna make a choice, but it might not be the right one.
Yeah.
I like to say there's good decisions and there's bad decisions. My wife taught me something, and she said, I don't think there are good decisions or bad decisions. I think people just make decisions, and either you have good results or you have bad results. And we debated on that for a little while, but I'm gonna let her have that one. That's everybody's entitled to their own, which I had to think about that. Are there good decisions and bad decisions, or is it just people make decisions and then something good or something bad happens? It again depends on your mindset. To me, you can make a bad decision from the beginning. It's not just making a decision and then something bad happens. Mm-hmm. You pretty much know if I do this, this could happen 90%.
Yeah.
And that should influence whether you choose to do that or not.
Right.
But everybody don't think that way.
Right.
Some people like, I know something bad could happen, but I'm gonna do this anyway. And if something bad happens, then it was a bad decision. If nothing bad happens, it wasn't a bad decision. It was just a decision I did, and nothing happened. I'm
Like up in the air sometimes, you know, just gonna roll the dice, and
if it lands good, I made a good
I
decision.
get all sevens, I'm good. If I don't, then
I'm screwed.
it's over.
You know, but that's, again, the mindset.
Yeah.
You know, your mindset has to do with your thought process. And your thought process has to back up to a whole lot of different variables.
Right.
You know, everything is rooted in something. What rules am I going to follow? For me, it's the Bible. For somebody else, it may be, I'm a free spirit. I do what I want. I don't have no rules to follow.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's part of it is the way I was raised. You know, sometimes I do things based off of not wanting to put my parents in a bad light, if that make any sense.
Yeah.
Because they did a great job raising me. I don't want to do something and wind up on the news and my parents like, oh man, I didn't see this coming. You know, Chris was supposed to, like, he was such a good kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you are a reflection of them, but the decisions that people make when they're grown doesn't really fall back on their parents. I don't believe that.
I don't believe that either, because as you live and you go through different things, you learn. You know, I was single for a long time. Now I've been with my wife for a decade and a half. That's a long time.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm able to say I was single for a long time. I've been married for a long time. You know, I was just a dude that's out here, no kids, and now for a decade and a half I've been a father. You know, and when you a father or a mother, when you a parent, period.
Yeah.
Your kids will teach you things. Without even trying, they will teach you things. You know, and I learned that you could be the best parent in the world. You could be the greatest parent that you know how to be. You could love your kids. You could try your best and bend over backwards and give them everything. And that's still not enough.
That's true.
And your kid will grow up and feel like you have not done enough for me. So, in knowing that, it makes me wonder, like, if my children grow up as adults and they leave this house and then they do something bad and society is like, your parents should have raised you better. No. Sometimes the parent has done all they can.
Right.
The child is just hard-headed. I would even go as far as to say they trash. You know what I'm saying? I know that's a little strong language for some people. My baby ain't trash. I mean, but if you pouring into your child and they just brick walling, like, nah, I don't care what you do, I'm going to absolutely wild out. Well, let them wild out. But you can't say I ain't trying as a parent. See what I'm saying? So
sometimes you gotta let go and let God.
Sometimes you gotta let that head get bust open.
You want to touch the stove? Go ahead and burn your hand.
Exactly. You know, but that's for a topic on another day. I ain't trying to ruin nobody's parenting techniques and none of that. The point is the mindset, because children often have a different mindset than their parents when they get grown. You know.
But that's understandable though, because your parents gonna teach you what they know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
They just doing the best they can off what they know.
Yeah, they going off what they were taught and they passing it on. So I mean, and when you get older, you're gonna have your own beliefs and decisions to make in life. So I mean, it is what it is.
Right. You know, and I really believe that the right mindset could help you out of any situation you got yourself in. You know, and I know some situations are dire, you know, but one mindset I always like to remind myself to keep is the mindset, don't ever give up. It don't matter how old you get. It don't matter what you're trying to do. It don't matter what hadn't happened for you yet. Just don't give up, because if you quit, you'll never make it.
Yep.
Even if your situation is telling you just quit. It's like, nah, don't quit. You can go lay down, take a nap, but don't quit.
Yep.
You know, and I feel like God kind of gave me that, you know, when I was working a lot. And I was going to take a little 30-minute break. And I feel like God told me, you know, I was sitting at the table by myself listening to some Christian hip-hop. That's my favorite music. You know, it kind of helped me relax when I'm in a mood, you know, and I had a rough day.
Yep.
And I had on one of my favorite songs, and it was, it was doing this thing. I was listening to the word, and it was getting in all the right synapses of my mind, if I could say. And the song went off, and things was quiet for about 30 seconds. And God was just like, do you know why you get breaks at work? And I'm like, yeah, because it's against the law not to let somebody get a break.
It's the law.
And he said, nah, he said, it may be against the law, but a break is because as a human, you need a break. That's why you got to sleep 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? Because you need time to put food in your body. It's just like a car. You know what I'm saying? If you just keep driving your car and you never put no water in it, you never stop to put gas in it when it get low, you will break that car and you'll be stranded.
Yeah.
He said human beings are the same way.
Yep.
You know, if you don't take a break from life and get in my presence, you're going to break down. And I was like,
it's all about reset. You gotta reset.
Gotta reset. So yeah, and again, we not a religious podcast, but just flow with the conversation.
Yeah.
We all human, and you gotta have some kind of guidelines that you are rooted and grounded in. You gotta have some kind of standards. If you don't have no standards, then what you gonna look to? When you confused about something, or you have some kind of problem, what you gonna look to?
Right.
Your mindset is a part of all of that.
Yeah, I mean, your mindset plays a part in how far you go in life,
Yeah.
I think it's, like you said, I think it starts at a young age, too. If you have parents that, like, speak life into you, you're going to grow up like, man, I can do anything I want to do. I can be who I want to be.
Right.
And it's going to help you to go, farther in life as well.
Right, and that's something major. What you said, having a parent or parents that will speak life into you versus the opposite. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, everything ultimately is left up to you.
Yeah,
and that's amazing to me because people love to be told what to do. They just don't realize it. You ever thought about that?
I think because we're programmed as kids, when you're in school, get in line. It's time to go to lunch right now,
We and for what I'm about to say is like, just think about it for a second. If you back all the way up to God and creation, right? If God had just put Adam and Eve on the earth and never said nothing to them, they would be figuring things out as they go. But part of you wants to know, what am I supposed to do? Somebody got to tell me something.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why, as human beings, we don't like to be told what to do. But the reason why that is because it's so many different parts inside of us, if that make any sense.
Okay.
And so the part of us that don't like to run with God, that part wants to be the boss of everything. We want to be in control of everything. We don't want nobody telling us nothing. Because if we gotta wait for somebody to tell us something, then we're not in control.
Right.
So your mindset is like, I don't want to be told what to do. But then the part that God put in us is like, I absolutely want somebody to show me what to do.
Right.
I don't want to go out here and mess up, but you get a conflict of interest. You don't want to be told what to do, but deep down you do.
That's true, because people are like, I don't want nobody telling me what to do, but as soon as something happens,
why y'all ain't help me? Why y'all ain't say nothing? Right.
Like, what is it? Which one is it?
And again, your mindset makes all the difference.
Yeah.
There's also different types of mentalities that people have, and I feel like no mentality is bad. They have pros and cons. I can't speak for nobody else, but like my mentality, right? I will not make a decision without research. And my wife hate that. She like, bro, you won't just go make a decision. It's like, okay, but what about it? What about if this happen? What about if that happen? So let me step back and just let me talk to some more people. Let me read another book.
Sometimes you gotta make a decision off a whim.
Well, and that's true. Cause see, we was talking about that, me and her one day, and some people mindset will have you in a bad situation because they don't. It's not about, let me take my time. It's just I want to do. Boom, I want to be just off and running. Now, my mindset, right? Like I said, I like to take things slow and do a lot of research on this, that, and the third. A person with my mindset won't have you in a bad situation, but we will miss a lot of big opportunities because we won't take the risk. I ain't get a chance to read enough. I ain't get a chance to look it up first, so I'm not gonna do it.
Sometimes you gotta take a risk though. I feel like life is a risk.
It is.
When you walk out your door,
You know,
taking a risk.
in other words, if I got a chance to choose, the one that look risky, I ain't picking it. Now, if I'm forced to, like, this is not something I'm choosing. I just got to do this because I don't have no choice. I do it because I don't have a choice. But my mindset is take your time with everything. But in doing that, you miss opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And then you look back and you're like, man, I should have did that. I should have did it. You know, but
Yeah, I don't like having regrets about, man, what if I would have did that? What if? I don't want to have no what ifs, man. I feel like everything is a risk. You walk outside, you're taking a risk. You get in the car, it's a risk. You
True.
go in that store, it's a risk.
True. You know, and that's just it. That's why I made the point of it. It's different mindsets,
Yeah.
and that's why I say it. That to me, there are no bad mindsets, but all of them have pros and cons.
Yeah.
The thing is, do the cons outweigh the pros, or vice versa? Do the pros outweigh the cons? Because the person with the mindset like, I ain't gonna listen to nobody, I'm gonna just do what I want to do. That's a very dangerous person. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now it could be some good that comes out of that kind of mindset because they will take a risk and not worry about what about the research or what about this, what about that. They just gonna do. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's good to be that way, especially in business, because some opportunities you ain't got but a small window of time.
Yeah.
So you gotta hop on it. But then in life, when you got that kind of mindset, that's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Why you say it's dangerous?
Because when you the person that I'm gonna just do what I want to do, you gotta understand that you doing what you want to do it don't just affect you. It affect everybody connected with you.
What if you ain't doing anything that's hurting anybody?
It just depends on what you're doing. You might see it as what I'm doing is not hurting anybody, but you're not looking at the big picture either. Most time a person with the mindset they only doing what they want to do, they frame of mind is this big, but the picture is this big.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I say no mindsets are bad. They all got pros and cons. My mindset, you're gonna miss opportunities. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Now a person can change their mindset. They can. The question is, do they want to? Once they realize like this is the pros and cons of my mindset, do they want to change or not?
I feel like for me, man, I'm a risk taker.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people that are risk takers.
Wow.
And most of the time, those are the people that they make it to be the 1%ers. See what I'm saying? Them the people that they make it to become that next millionaire, that next billionaire, because they took that risk. Mm-hmm. It's a chance I might lose everything, but it's a chance I might not. Let's roll the dice and see.
Right.
You know, they roll the dice. Oh, I lost everything. I'll get it back. I'm like, man, you just lost your house. You ain't worried about that? What about your family? Y'all gotta have somewhere to live. And I'm still working. I'll get an apartment for now. My wife ain't gonna like it, but she'll be alright.
Yeah.
Cause the next roll of the dice, now I done made $10 million.
There you go.
The person like me,
buy that castle now.
Me, how long I got to get back to you on this answer? Man, we gotta listen 24 hours. I can't wait all day. All right, let me make some phone calls and let me talk to a couple of people and see. I'm gonna get back to you. When you gonna get back to me? In like 2 hours. Okay. I'm doing the research. Man, that could happen. I don't like that. But it's not saying it's gonna happen. It could. Yeah, but
I mean, when you're making decisions, a lot of times you have like some type of knowledge of what you're doing too, or you should.
True. You know.
So you're not really going in there blind per se.
Right. From ground zero,
you don't know every single thing, but you know somewhat.
Right, and I think that's one thing that hurt me is like, if I don't know, if I don't know enough, I won't pull the trigger on a decision. It's just like, nah, I ain't gonna do it.
I mean, you ain't gonna know everything.
Cause I'm telling like I didn't miss some big opportunities like that. Cause I wouldn't, open my mouth and say, look, I need a ride over here to go see what they talking about. Well, I don't understand what they talking about, so I'm not going.
Yeah.
When I could have went and found out what they were talking about, and then it's like, oh, I absolutely could have done that. Why didn't you? Man, I ain't know. See what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So it's a person's mindset is everything. It really is. Because if your thought process is not a balance of all the things we said, then you'll be paralyzed with fear. You won't move.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like back when we was talking about like applying to jobs, and you was like, if it say certain things,
then I won't apply for that job.
And I'm like, man, if it say, I don't care what it say, you can get a position for the CEO, I'm gonna apply for it.
Right.
They gotta just tell me no.
See?
They gotta tell me no, man.
Them different mindsets. You said you're a risk taker. Me, I'm like,
I'm gonna just learn as I go.
The job say I can't. I don't have these kind of skills. They're gonna tell me no. I already know. Well, you don't know.
I don't.
So I mean, we've been saying it over and over. Your mindset is everything.
Right.
Whether you're able-bodied, whether you're disabled, your mindset is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's even more when you're disabled because you literally, some people, and I was one of these people for sure. When it came to relationships, I'm like, she's gonna look at me and automatically say no. So, I'm gonna speak, but as far as going beyond that and try to let her know I'm interested, it's not gonna happen because she got the pick of the litter. I mean, there's a bunch of dudes around here.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm the only dude in the building.
Yeah.
So I mean, why would she pick me over him? He can drive. He ain't got no disability. This, that, and the third. And I talk myself out of taking a chance. Why? That mindset. Don't take the risk.
See, I've always been like, man, I can stomp with the rest of them, I can pull
told you
more
go ahead
than
and drop that book, man.
I can stomp with the rest of them, wheelchair or not, it don't matter. You just gotta tell me no.
It's a job.
You just gotta tell me no.
You applying for a job, man. But yeah, man, I think if your mindset is not, I ain't gonna say the right mindset, because to me there are no right mindsets. Mm-hmm. Whatever mindset you have, God kind of sort of gave that to you.
Right.
But it's just like, clay on the potter's wheel, it can be shaped.
Mm-hmm.
Into something beautiful or into something ugly. Some people have done some bad things, but it's not their fault because their mindset was already messed up from the beginning. They didn't have a bad mindset. Their mindset just had holes in it almost.
Yeah.
It wasn't a mixture of things. It was just this one type of mindset driving them until they ran into a situation that forced their mindset to change.
Yeah.
And I think that's how life works. I think we all feeling our way toward God, whether we realize it or not.
Yeah.
Even though God is big enough to be involved with us individually, we still feeling our way towards Him collectively. And that's has a lot to do with our mindset.
Mindset is everything, man.
Everything.
It's key.
Key. Gotta unlock your house, but you got to have the right key.
Right. Yeah, y'all. Leave some comments and let us know what you think on this topic.
Right. Mindset is something broad that could open up a lot of discussions.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, man, y'all like, comment, subscribe,
share this video.
And like I said, we working on some things, so be looking for some other links and stuff to pop up.
Catch on the other platforms and support.
All right.
And stay tuned for the next video.
And we'll be out.
Peace.